My name is Luis Longhi, and the name of the firm or the office, the studio's name is Longhi Architects, and is a one-man office. These days, and after the pandemic, the office turned into a one-person office, which is me and this place, and I have satellite offices with collaborators all over the world. Well, I think that any type of art manifestation that you practice is going to help in the process of creating, all right? So I always wanted to be an architect since I was a kid, but the moment I was introduced to sculpture when I was studying architecture, it was like love first sight, and I could not stop. So these two things have been working with me all the time. And I cannot think architecture without thinking sculpture, as well as I cannot work architecture if I don't think in nature. So the observation of nature is the way that I understand art. I use also the scenography, stage design, because I see architecture as the stage design or as the stage of life. Architecture is the stage of life, and the circumstances of life make us do whatever we do as architects. So all of these things, of course, influences myself in my practice. But these changes, sometimes it helps to clarify things. Sometimes it helps to generate new forms. Sometimes it only helps to think better. The thinking and the feeling, which are important. But to me, art is one of the few things that give spirit to materiality. And that is the big thing about architecture, you know. Good architecture is that can move the user. And the only way to move the user is by turning architecture in some form of art. Therefore, for me, my practice is artistic architecture. To me, land architecture is the most recent nature. And the most recent nature is the one that humans create. Whatever we do in nature, it turns into the most recent nature. So I think nature is different from many centuries. The original nature, the one created by God, had been changed for millions of years by men. And to me, land architecture is the most recent, but is the one that we create from the place. That's why I say that in order to have that type of architecture, land architecture, we have to understand or try to understand the nature of the site, of the place where we are going the place that we are going to intervene. Then we have to try to understand the user for whom we are doing this design. And we have to understand those two natures from our own nature as architects, as human beings. So how can you recognize your own nature is by understanding that you are in some ways a fragment of the creator. That makes you a creator, and that's the only way that you could design, that you could create, because design comes from two words, divine sign. So the act of designing is the act of making the divine decisions, smart decisions. If we put together all these pieces, then land architecture becomes also nature. Land architecture and nature to me are the same. That's why if you have a place, like in the project I think we're going to talk about, you know, if you have a place that is in the little hill, and I can use the hill in order to turn the hill into a house, that becomes a piece of land architecture by nature. Since this is a small hill, the best way to approach is to come with the car from above. I had to find a way to change the way to approach the house in order to come to some way where we can park the cars and then see a little bit the view, which is fantastic, and then to go down and down and down. So it's, in some ways, it's a way to go into the earth. And the place is called Pachacamac in Inca language, which is called Quechua. Pacha means earth and Camac means spirit. So this house is in a place called the spirit of earth. I feel that I go inside the earth in order to find life, in order to find death, in order to find another life. So when I saw this little site, I liked it, and I said, probably we don't need to interrupt the overall. We need to go inside the hill, and we need to turn the hill into whatever we need to turn it into. This, in this case, was the house, the retirement house for a couple of philosophers. I understood that they will come later for the last years of their life. And since the place is so special, I thought that also to live inside the earth would be a nice way to live the last years of life. That's why so many people think that I design like the tomb for the clients. And it could be if you are a friend of death, the way Mexicans are, for example, the tombs of the Inca or the tombs of the important person, it used to have a lot of tradition, a lot of meaning, and it used to be underground. So it was very difficult not to think about Inca. Since then, my architecture is continuing this search for the Inca tradition in contemporary architecture. But the beginning was the Pachacamac house, and Pachacamac house was very difficult not to thank Inca for that house. I'm not afraid of death. In fact, is my friend. It's beautiful to walk that house because you see nature underground. You see light, strong light underground. That's why they say that we buried the house with light, because the power of light is incredible when you go down inside and inside and inside. The way to get into the house is by going always down. The first way is like we go down like maybe a couple of meters down, but not inside the earth yet. And we find this little patio where we have the two entrances, the male entrance and the female entrance. So then we have the male entrance, which is a positive, something that comes out element, and the female, which is a concave, is a whole type of thing, always with the symbol. And the female entrance is the entrance of the house. That entrance of the house is the beautiful space where you think about where are you coming from. You are coming from the problems of the outside, and in that place you are supposed to think and turn your life into what life should be in your home. So it's that entrance, is that transition. And in that place you see windows in the floor. The windows, the openings are not at eye level. They are in different places in order to make you think. When you get into that space, you don't get the same feeling every time. It's always different. From there, you can see that you can go straight down to the social area, living, dining, and so forth. Or you go to the left and you see outside and you see this big cat in the hill. And from the second floor, I see that of the outside, and I see this big cat. It's beautiful, and you see that is directed to this tree. And then if the day is clear, you can see beyond the tree, you can see even the ocean, which is a few kilometers away. When you see to the left, you see the ocean, and when you see to the right, you see the Andes. So you are in this place in which usually you see where the sun rises, and then you turn your view and you see where the sun sets. So the location is fantastic. I haven't done any special thing about that. I was lucky to have that place with that orientation, no? So that works almost in every space of the house. It has some type of corridors that are very messy corridors. You in some ways can get lost in that, and this is the way to find privacy, because we don't like to use doors. They say that the ones that brought the doors to Peru were the Spaniards when they came, because Incas didn't use doors. And that connects very well the outside with the inside, no? Also, notice only that we turn the hill into a house using the same materials and all that, but we gave some order to the materiality. Whatever is away from the house is rough, and then the stone becomes very fine when you get to get closer to the inside of the house. And there are some parts in the inside of the house, and this is all very shiny and very soft, and usually using some concrete, because to us, we adopted the concrete as the new stone. And then I especially decided to have a glass box in order to make sure that this architecture, so that people that goes around know that it's a sign, it's a way to say, just in case there is some architecture inside, come and see that, no? And it has the best view because you have a view to the Andes and to the ocean and to the front, to the mountains. Is the best location. So the decision, in the moment, the decision is I wanted to see everything, because the site, the view is so good that I want to have a place, a point inside the house that from where I can see 180-degree view, because the other views are directed to a tree and the ocean, to this rock, to this piece, to that mountain, no? I believe in three important things. I understand that if possible, we have to use materials of the site. If possible, we have to use labor. Whoever works there should be from the site. And in every room of that construction, we have to allow the sun and the wind, natural light and natural ventilation to go. So that is something that is mandatory. When we started to build this house, there was not electricity, it was not water, it was not easy to bring people from the capital to work here. So we have to train people from agricultural people. We have to train them to work stone. So it was like a exercise. And then we understood that we Peruvians have the tradition of working in stone. And so somebody that was working agriculture could turn into stone builder very easy. That we didn't have any other chance. We have to use labor of the place. And we could not buy many other things. And we had a lot of stone in the place. So we could select the stone. We could do a lot of work selecting and choosing every place for every stone. And that was a fantastic experience. I've done everything, every detail and everything. And I go to the site and I go to supervise, but no, I really build this. So what we practice is design build. And we do a lot of changes while we build. And we don't tell anything to anybody. The client didn't even recognize that we have changed some things, because when they go and they see beautiful, they see, I never thought this is better than what I imagined. And I said, well, okay, it's because we haven't told you anything, we haven't charged you any money or anything. So we do it in order to have to give happiness. This is the most important thing. Even though I have Italian last name, I am also an Inca. I understood that I have that background, and I understood the powerful way the Incas think. They used to respect nature. Nature was a god. So the wind was a god. The rain is a god. So every manifestation of nature, for them, it used to be God. The most valuable lesson, respect for the natural elements, no? The respect and the necessity to become partner with light, natural light and natural ventilation. If possible, everywhere, try to use the material of the site. If possible, everywhere you design or you build, try to use the labor of the site. I know that in the case of Casa Pachacamac was the only choice that we have, but now I try to do that. Even if we could bring some of our people, construction people, we try to find people that live close so that they don't have to walk, or they don't have to take a car, they don't have to use energy, and so forth. So very much that, and the respect for nature. I mean, now I cannot think about nature different than architecture.